Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria. I'm currently doing 31 days of Halloween. Today is day 18. Today I'm going to be doing a look that was requested by user Brizzy. So I'm going to be doing a dragon look today. So let's get started. So I'm going to start off with my eyes. I'm going to start with this red shade from the Festival palette by Juvia's Place. This is called Izafa. And I'm just going to take like a really fluffy blending brush and kind of go crazy. Now I'm going to take like this deep maroon from the Hocus Pocus palette. It is called Night of Frolic. It's probably like my favorite shade out of this palette. And I'm pretty much just taking that on top of it, blending out but not as like far, like not to my eyebrow like the other one. And I'm actually going to take that first red, the Izafa, and I'm going to apply that all over. Now I'm going to take my black liquid liner and I'm going to basically draw like a shape on my eye. Then I'm going to draw a wing, basically connecting the two. I'm going to take this like gold orangey glitter gel. This is the Another Glorious Morning from the Hocus Pocus collection. And I'm just applying it to like that first half, and then I'm going to use a red glitter on the second half. So I'm taking my NYX glitter primer. Okay, and I just kind of like tapped a little bit onto that gold just to kind of like blend it a little bit, if that makes sense.
For my lower lash line, I'm taking the shade, I call it a Buzz, from the Hocus Pocus palette, and I'm just dragging that underneath, and I'm bringing it a little bit lower than I normally would. Then I'm going to take the shade Yabos, which is that green shimmer in that palette, and I'm going to use that for my inner corner.
Now I'm going to bring down some of that maroon color down on my nose. So that's shade Night of Frolic from the Hocus Pocus palette. Just pushing it to the beginning of my brow. Now I'm going to take some more of that gold eyeshadow that I used as a highlight, Kofi from the Afrique palette. Now I'm just cleaning up the sides with my sponge. For my lips, I'm going to use this MAC Powder Kiss liquid lip color. This is the shade Make Love to the Camera. Okay, so now I'm going to do the scales. I want them to be mostly like just all around my eye area, kind of going onto like my cheekbones. So I'm going to use my wig cap. So I'm kind of bringing it diagonal like this. What I'm going to do is I'm taking this little like sponge and I'm going to use that to dip into some red and black paint. So I want like the texture from the sponge, and I'm also getting the texture from the netting. Then I'm also going to take some of that gold eyeshadow from the Afrique palette. Then I'm going to pull the netting back over. It's not going to be in the same like pattern that it was. And I'm going to take some of that red eyeshadow and that maroon eyeshadow and kind of go over. I'm just taking some of that, I call it a Buzz, like dark eyeshadow that I used on my lower lash line. I'm just going to bring it even more down, and I'm going to bring it like coming towards my nose. Okay, now I'm going to do the other side. I'm just bringing that gold a little bit higher onto like my forehead. And I'm just gonna darken my eyebrows, so I'm taking a black liner. And I'm just creating like these long strokes, like these long like hair strokes. Just taking a little bit more of that dark, I call it a bust. So now I'm going to take a little bit of foundation or like concealer on a detailed brush, and I'm going to kind of try to create more of like a pattern on like the scale area. So I'm just kind of going through some of the like lines from the like scale pattern, kind of defining them. I'm just gonna go in on some of those with some of that dark, I call it a bust shade. Just taking a little bit of like red paint and kind of going over those lines as well. Just bringing down some of those red lines past the patterns. Now I'm going to do some of the pattern here on my jawline, taking that red paint and black paint on a sponge. Now I'm kind of adding some black paint to the edges of my lip. I've also added a little bit of like black lines to where I had those red lines, and so I have like these nails that are like fake acrylic nails that you like glue on, and my husband actually helped me paint them, so they're like a bone type color, and we cut them so they look kind of like that, and I'm going to use them as like little horns coming from the sides of my face. So I'm going to glue those on, but before I do, I'm just going to go ahead and add lashes really quick. And before I start adding the horns, I'm also going to add a little bit of like that maroon shadow. I'm going to kind of go underneath this area. And I'm also going to tap a little bit of that same green like inner corner like shadow that I used, Diablo's. I'm going to tap some on my lips. Now to get them to stick, I'm going to take some spirit gum and apply some to the areas that I want the little horns. Then I'm going to take some scar wax and place that on top, and then I'm going to stick the little horns into that scar wax. I'm going to give it a second to get a little bit sticky and tacky. And I also have like Vaseline on my fingers so the scar wax doesn't stick to my fingers. Now just taking a bit of red and black paint and painting like the base of them. Now I'm just taking my sponge with a tiny bit of like foundation on it, and I'm gonna kind of go and try to bring back some of the scales that I lost while doing all of these little like spikes. I'm going back in just in with that same like paint that I was using for the bases of the little spikes. Now before I add contacts and the wig I'm gonna wear, I'm just gonna go one last time with some gold. I'm gonna go finish off with some finishing touches, and I will be right back. And this is my finished dragon look. I did add a little bit of like texture to my neck just to kind of make it a little bit more cohesive. And I have like my maroon wig. I do have green contacts. I do wish I had like the snake eyes, like the vertical pupils, but I don't. I only have the green ones, so that's what we're working with. But yeah, so I really tried to find like dragon inspiration, like dragon makeup online, because I was kind of like, I kind of like didn't know what to do. But there was like there's like not a whole lot of dragon makeup inspiration online, and most of what I can find, like especially on Instagram, was just like people drawing dragons like on their face. So I hope this is okay. I just kind of went with what I pictured, like a dragon in my head. Which, if I'm being honest, actually, like, the dragon that kept popping into my head the most was the one from Shrek. So I kind of like thought of her when doing this. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of my dragon look. And that is all for today. That is day 18. And if you haven't already, I am still doing the giveaway for the Hocus Pocus palette. I'll go ahead and link that here. There is 2 days left to enter. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.